Alex. Evelyn, perhaps you could just pick up the baton from your experience as heading up banking industry in Nigeria.
As a matter of fact, when I was listening to what Momsa was saying, I knew what she said intuitively without even seeing the data. Because as a banker, before I became the head of the leading development financial institution in Nigeria, we saw very few women coming through the door in the banks, both as an investment bank and as a commercial banker. And therefore, one of the first things I did as the head of the bank was to set up a gender-specific desk. A desk that actually caters just to women. That is the women who actually have scaled through the small, not girls I said, the women who are able to stand on their own 2 feet. So we created the gender desk to actually try to balance out the mismatch that occurs between men and women. Women in Nigeria have a completely different perspective as to how they do their own business, and we wanted to respond to it. We wanted people who trained people who would be sensitive to their sensibilities in the way they do business. So when we set up that desk, we saw a change. That is on the one side. On the other side of it is, what you know about the Dutch disease. We're a very rich country, and yet the people are very poor. The burden of poverty lies down right to the women. 70% of the poor are women in my country. And therefore, we needed to look at how to address the issue of poverty. So we took a different perspective as to collateral. Everybody knows what the issues are regarding small businesses, regarding the underserved. We said there's chicken and egg situation. How are we going to break it? So we decided to look at it differently. We decided we're going to do the cooperative lending, where we put them into small cooperatives in a cluster, doing the same type of business, where they guarantee each other. And therefore, you remove the issue of collateral for the women. And the second thing you do also is the monitoring. The average commercial bank has an issue with monitoring small businesses. They are there to make a profit for their shareholders. And having been a commercial banker myself, an investment banker, we needed to address that. How are you going to take care of the issue of unskilled people, monitoring, the cost of monitoring, which the commercial banks were not interested in doing. So when you put them in a cluster, they monitor each other. They kind of nurture each other, because women by nature are very nurturing. And so you see the older women who have been in the business taking on smaller ones, and they grow, and they strengthen each other. What has been the impact? We found that the portfolio at risk at the time I took over was something like 65% of our entire portfolio. Because it's men. I mean, these are big men who think they can do as they want. When I took over, you don't pay your loan, you get it due. So the men found you can't do that anymore. And when we added the women, I mean, our portfolio is just scratched down to 10. So in terms of women being able to pay, we have been able to demonstrate without any doubt that women are very good credit people. Then in terms of also taking care of the skills that they don't have, we know that women have issues. They look after the family. When a woman earns $1, she's not going to go to the bar to drink. She's going to look after the children. The children come first. Even the men who are drinking, they spend some of that money looking after the men. So we decided what we're going to do is to try to have them get access to more funds. The commercial banks have said that they don't have any skills. So we arrange boot camps. We teach them, this is the revenue you make, this is part of your profit. You have to be able to actually save some of this profit, and we've been training them. So it goes from job creation to wealth creation, because we say to them, well, I don't know about the other countries in Africa, but generally in Nigeria, the men have a choice. You know, the women are there. And if you don't look after yourself, they scale up. You get a younger one. So we try to encourage the women, look after yourself, try to actually save some of these resources that are available, not just for your family, but for yourself. I mean, constantly talking to the women, put them into groups where we talk to them, train them, not training them, then act as support. Now we know how to save some of the money. We're in the process. We've done this now for more than 3 years, scaling them up so that they can actually own their own homes. So there are lots of things we have done, and that is why what Momsa said in her presentation resonated with me a lot. A man loves his wife, loves his daughters, loves his sisters. it's not going to think about this as far as women are concerned. So we need women in pretty high positions across board to be able to be sensitive. The men who have been able to play up the feminine side of themselves, and not many in the financial sector, they're looking at the bottom like they're looking at the profit. And we need to, as nurturers of the society, need to be in them, playing with them, telling them, it's not only about this. If you have to put a crash in the bank so that women who have skills can work there, we have a crash that we're putting in our new bank. So there are many, many things that women can do to change society. I don't think it's just about gender mainstreaming. It is about getting a very talented pool that we have ignored so far because we haven't paid attention. There are too many things that you can do as a CEO of a woman in a big institution like I run in Nigeria. And most of the players have seen that what we have been advocating, because we do a lot of advocacy work across the financial sector, the regulators, and the government, that it actually impacts more positively on their well-being than just a gender thing. I'll just stop here.